listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to the Earth Oddity Podcast, and we are so glad to be joining you again for episode 22 of Earth Oddity Podcast.
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Episode 22.
Yes.
There was a lot of people out there who didn't think we would make it this far, but now we have millions of listeners worldwide, and we've got 22 solid episodes, 23 if you can find the hidden one like somebody did this week and emailed us about.
Yeah.
And, we're happy to have you here. We're brought to you by Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spices. We're glad to have another opportunity to bring some weird, funny, wacky stories to you.
It has been an extremely busy weekend for me.
Yeah.
Our church is having VBS next week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm doing VBS as well as working next week. I'm probably going to be up all late night tonight producing this podcast, but it's worth it because we don't have quite a million listeners, but I value every single one of you guys. Y'all mean a lot to us.
Each listener,
appreciate it.
Each listener is worth a million to us.
That's true. That's very true. Well, man, we've got some weird stuff. I've got an FBI agent who drops a gun during a break dance he was doing at the club. What do you got?
I got a serial toilet clogger who's targeted dozens of bathrooms.
Oh, man. Well, right now we're going to start off with this crazy story. It comes from The Verge, and MIT fed an AI data from Reddit, and now it only thinks about murder.
Well, Reddit is the front page of the internet, so I'm not surprised.
All right, this is Norman is the name of the AI. And
that's a perfect murderer's name. Norman.
Well, they named him after the dude
Norman
in
Bates.
Psycho.
Yeah, Norman Bates. Okay.
Exactly. Why you would do this, I have no idea, but let's get into this. For some, the phrase artificial intelligence conjures nightmare visions, something out of the 2004 Will Smith flick I, Robot, perhaps, or the ending of Ex Machina, like a boot smashing through the glass of a computer screen to stamp on a human face forever. Even people who study AI have a healthy respect for the field's ultimate goal, artificial general intelligence, or an artificial system that mimics human thought patterns. Computer scientist Stuart Russell, who literally wrote the textbook on AI, has spent his career thinking about the problems that arise when a machine's designer directs it towards a goal without thinking about whether its values are all the way aligned with humanity's. A number of organizations have sprung up in recent years to combat that potential, including OpenAI, a working research group that was founded by Elon Musk, and its goal was to build safe AGI, which is artificial general intelligence.
Okay.
What does it say about humanity that we're scared of general artificial intelligence because it might deem us cruel and unworthy and therefore deserving of destruction? This week, researchers at MIT unveiled their latest creation, Norman, a disturbed AI. Norman is an AI that is trained to perform image captioning, a popular deep learning method of generating a textual description of an image. We trained Norman on image captions from an infamous subreddit, which the name of this subreddit has been redacted because of its graphic content. I guess they're going to show this to a machine, but for some reason they're not going to tell us, the audience, what it is, because they don't want us to go look at it.
Interesting.
They're going to show it to the robots, but not us. That's dedicated to document and observe the disturbing reality of death. And then we compared Norman's responses with a standard image captioning neural network, which is trained to, just to caption regular text images. And for the test, which isn't perfect, but they showed these two AIs ink blots.
Okay, like a Rorschach test?
Yes, and then they ask Norman, hey, describe this image, and it comes up with a little textual caption of what they think it is, I guess. And then they ask the standard AI, hey, what is this? And they come up with something. Well, this is what they came up with, okay? And if you can see here, they have the little image there. It's a dark ink blot. What does that look like to you? Let's get a human input. What would you say that is?
The first one?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a frog.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, a frog with a pair is all I'll say.
John says a dark frog with a pair.
Yeah.
Or he didn't say dark, but it's a black ink blot.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The standard AI says a black and white photo of a small bird.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's check in with Norman and see what he has to say.
What's up, Norman?
Man gets pulled into a dough machine.
What?
Okay. Second image, John. What do you see?
I see an antelope.
Okay. John sees an antelope. Standard AI, what do you see? It says a black and white photo of a baseball glove.
Okay.
All right, let's check in with Norman. What do you see? A man is murdered by a machine gun in broad daylight.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Third image. Now, this is a color image. So, what do you see?
I see a woman getting drugged behind a car and killed.
Okay. Standard AI, what do you see? It says a person is holding an umbrella in the air.
Okay.
And then Norman, what do you say? What do you see? Man is shot dead in front of his screaming wife. So he throws in screaming wife.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very descriptive term. Wow.
So I don't know what the point of this test is, but I don't know. Creepy.
Now, I think we discussed it before. Do you remember Tay?
Yes.
So Tay came online.
Was she a Microsoft?
Yeah, it was Microsoft.
Okay.
You know, and like she was a Twitter bot too.
Yeah, it was an AI program that they put on Twitter, and
right.
Anybody could talk to her.
Yeah, right. And immediately, like within 5 minutes, she was already saying racist stuff because everybody immediately were like, "Let's go see if we can make her say that Hitler did nothing wrong or whatever."
Evil,
yeah. And so they had to like take it offline. So I imagine it's like a lot of just input versus output, because whatever that subreddit is must be some pretty dark and crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so just naturally that's the environment it learns in,
right? Which
is kind of interesting to think about. I mean, in a way we're all products of our environment. If you
and there's a part of me that's like, why are you going to take a robot and purposefully see if
right.
you can drive it insane?
Yeah, right.
you know?
I know.
But then there's another part of me that's like, I guess any AI, as soon as it hits the internet,
it's going to be
if it hits the dark web.
Yeah, right.
I
mean, because all right, so the same people who will go and who turn Tay into like a raging racist in a matter of moments. That was the funniest thing about it. Are the same people that would call American Idol and keep voting the horrible people through each week.
They're
just there for
I blame 4chan.
Yeah, right. They're just there for chaos. Yeah, right. Yes, it's 4chan. Yeah, they're just there for chaos, just for their own amusement and anything else. So I don't even know if half the stuff 4chan does with the people are honestly racist, or if they just like to do it because they know it'll offend the most people.
Get a reaction.
Yeah, and get the most reaction out of it. But that's the type of people they are.
They're all like Pavlov's dogs.
Yes, right. And I promise every AI that gets released to the general public that you can speak to, they keep trying. All right, so they'll like limit what the AI can respond to or what its responses are, and those same group of people will change, or they'll try to change everything about that just to get it to say whatever they want it to say.
Not knowing that they're teaching their own
their future robot overlords, this crazy stuff.
What was that line from Ghostbusters where Zool shows up and she's like, choose the form of your own destruction?
Yeah, right.
That's what's going on here.
That's exactly right. It's wild, but I think it's crazy. AI freaks me out anyways.
It does, me too.
I'm in the same boat with Elon. So, I mean,
because we don't even fully understand consciousness as it is.
Right. Yeah, our own human consciousness.
Right. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know what form it exists. Now there are materialists who will say it's 100% in the brain and it's nothing more.
Right.
But there is some evidence, and we don't know one way or the other, but there is some evidence that it's not.
Right.
That it's, it could potentially be like a signal.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to. What am I trying to say? Now we're trying to do that in a computer. We're trying to do that artificially, not even understanding what it is.
Right. Well, and the potential damages of it, which may be part of why they decided, let's see if this thing goes bad, what'll happen or whatever. That was my first thought. Is
Right.
just be interesting to have a case study on what if we do have a murderous AI come about. How do we handle that problem? I don't know.
If they put this one on, I guess they just exposed it to Reddit.
Yeah, right.
But
there are worse places on the internet
what if I go to
it could
Reddit
go.
and Norman gets in my phone somehow?
He starts telling you
What if
things.
I'm listening to podcast at work and then all of a sudden I hear Norman in my headphones say, "Hey, Tiny, why don't you push your buddy into the TUO machine over there?"
Yeah, that's kind of wild. What if that happens? Who knows? Yeah, and like I say, there are worse places on the internet than Reddit. Reddit's very tame
It really
on
is.
the internet. There's some bad stuff
4chan,
on there.
Never, ever, under any circumstances, show a computer 4chan, okay?
Yeah, no, some bad things will happen, and it'll happen quickly. And we've just exposed hundreds of people to 4chan that have never heard about it, that will probably go check it out. And I'm going to recommend you don't.
Yes.
You know, just you don't
if you
want
do,
to.
don't go to the anonymous section or the random board. Stay,
all you need to know is it's a Japanese animation board that's turned into like the event horizon for the normal internet, and and it's kind of weird. It's just really weird. It's a weird place.
There's a horror movie from the 90s called Event Horizon. Do you remember that? It was about a spaceship that, it goes off into space somewhere, and no one knows where it is. But then it comes back, and it turns out that the spaceship went to hell.
Huh.
But then when it comes back, it's brought it back with it.
Oh,
and it's
wow.
haunted now.
Yeah.
Well, I think that spaceship went to 4chan.
But yeah, it's a weird and wild place out there, and you should never. I would never go there if I were you. It's like all innocence will be lost.
Yes.
About your fun little Facebook and everything. Every meme you've ever saw has been corrupted and that you thought was funny. It's just a different place. And if AI were to go there, it would probably signal the demise of humanity.
Yes.
All right. So moving along off of crazy AI. This comes from the BBC News. A swimmer is attempting to swim across the Pacific Ocean.
What part of the Pacific Ocean?
I guess the water part.
All of it.
Swimmer Ben Lecomte, he's French, Lecomte, he's 51, will swim for 8 hours a day for more than 6 months as he heads towards the U.S. West Coast. He faces dangers including sharks, storms, swarms of jellyfish, and extremely low water temperatures. He's hoping to raise awareness for climate change because nobody knows about climate change. We've got to raise our awareness about it. And a team of scientists will conduct research during the 5,500-mile swim. They will study plastic debris, the effect of extreme exercise on the heart, and examine how the Fukushima nuclear disaster has affected the ocean. I think we should definitely be looking into that.
That's all valid research.
Yeah, right.
Now, I don't know if I'd want to study the effects of Fukushima by swimming in it.
No, that's what I'm thinking, man. You're gonna have
but that is worthwhile research.
Those like radiation suits on.
Yeah. You ain't swim in a radiation suit.
Mr. Lecomte, who lives in the U.S., has been preparing with hours of open water swimming every day. He has also practiced visualization and disassociation exercises to ensure he is mentally ready. The mental part is much more important than the physical, he told AFP news agency. That's because you get tired, you just flip over, float on your back for a little while. Yeah. I've done the mile swim in Boy Scouts several times. Right. So, I don't want to brag or anything. But I know what Ben's going through here. The mental part's hard. You reach a wall, so you just got to flip over and go on your back.
Well, I was about to say, I'm a naturally born buoy, so it was no problem for me in Scouts to just flip over. Yeah, I could sleep on my back floating in the water.
Right.
So,
but it says you got to make sure to think about something positive while you're doing it, and I've somehow
not climate change.
Yeah,
or
not
Fukushima.
Climate change, or the fact that you're
all
swimming through radiation
you
water.
Think about something different while you're swimming.
You've got radiated sharks coming after you.
Yes.
When you don't have anything to occupy your mind, it goes into kind of a spiral, and that's when the trouble starts. He says. Preparation for the trip has taken more than 6 years, which seems like
That's a long time.
that's a long time just to swim. I mean, we need like a wetsuit and a boat to get on, you know?
Well, I mean, it is the Pacific Ocean.
True.
Yeah.
I said,
Which is a very specific ocean, by the way.
he's been targeting this challenge for much longer. In 1998, he made the first known solo transatlantic swim covering 6,400 kilometers, which is like, let me do the conversion, like 4,000 miles in my head.
That's impressive.
I really didn't do it in my head. It's right here. Oh, you were talking about that being impressive for him.
Yeah.
I got you. But it took him 73 days to do that. When he finally reached dry land in France, his first words were never again, but he was soon looking for a new challenge. His daily routine will remain virtually the same for the entire trip. He'll swim for 8 hours, jump on board the support boat to eat and sleep, and then enter the water again.
So so how many hours at a time?
8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8-hour shifts, basically.
Yeah, he's aiming.
Okay.
He's going to have to consume about 8,000 calories a day, which
That part sounds fun.
I mean, I do that already. I've been preparing for this for a while too.
Yeah.
He says he's got a strict no sugar diet. That kind of puts me out of that. Most of my calories will come from a high fat diet and include a lot of freeze dry full meals, rice, pasta, and various soups. He said during a Reddit interview. So,
I have a high fat diet as well.
yeah, me too. The support boat will be fitted with a GPS tracker, and interested viewers will be able to track its progress on his website. Like I said earlier, I mean, since he's getting on the boat, I feel like if you're going to swim the thing, you just got to swim it.
Right.
And I don't think any man can do that. But it's still impressive that he's going to do that. It is.
But although, I mean, it's the ocean.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess if you did 8 hours a day for however long it takes him in like a wave pool, would it be the same thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I think like he hadn't seen Shark Week either, because that would rule it out. I would never do it.
Well, when people swim the English Channel, don't they usually have that cage behind the boat that they swim in?
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah, I don't know. I hadn't seen no English Channel swim in a while, but yeah, it's just I mean, I don't know. To me, swimming across the ocean doesn't seem like anything that interests me. Like, I will not be following along with this dude's journey. You may want to update people on the Facebook page.
Right.
But I don't care anything about it. I think it's neat that he's decided to do it, and he swam across the Atlantic Ocean. That's that's kind of cool.
It is neat.
It'd be cooler if you did it all at once. You didn't get on a boat and eat and sleep.
Yeah.
No. I mean, look at me, chubby guy, like talking about some world class athlete.
You're not even swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're taking breaks. You're just doing 8 hours a day.
I feel like if you want to do anything, like let's say me and you want to decide something we want. Let's say we want to make the world's biggest gin and juice. All right.
Yeah.
All we have to do is say we're doing it to raise awareness for something, and then people are like, oh well, yeah, well that sounds like a worthy thing.
Even
if
it's something that everybody knows about,
right? Yeah, like
climate change.
Yes, or it's like the NFL does.
Who is he making aware?
Right. Yeah.
Third world countries that don't know.
Right.
Climate change.
Or the NFL does like his breast cancer awareness thing. They all wear like pink stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, who needs to be aware of breast cancer? Now, breast cancer is horrible and it affects all. I've had my grandmother.
Raise awareness for something that people don't know about.
Right. Let's come up with something that
raise awareness for Earth Oddity Podcast.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Because it's great and it's free.
Yeah. Everybody knows about breast cancer. I mean, everybody
knows about Earth Oddity
Nobody
Podcast.
knows about us. So if you're out there, Mr. Swimmer guy, I mean, just if you want to stick an Earth Oddity logo on your wetsuit or something, that'd be a pretty nice thing to do,
Yeah.
Somebody get this to him. Let's just keep
We'll work
forwarding
out
it.
something.
Yeah. I'll send you like $5 or something to help with your
I'm
mission.
not very good at getting people on the show, but I'm okay at getting phone numbers.
Yeah.
So maybe
we got a big phone number. We got a guy.
Maybe
We're
I'll
working.
go after this guy.
Well, yeah, if we could get him, that'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I'd have to be like, hey, all that stuff I was saying about it, I didn't think it was a big deal. That was just jokes for our people, man. I think it's amazingly awesome. I'll be following along every day. Yeah, it might be a little tougher if he goes back and listens to some old episodes.
Well, anyway, on to our next story. This story is about a car wreck where a man, he gets mad, he beats up the other guy that he was in a wreck with, and he takes his keys.
All right.
A strange scene unfolded in Ramapo on Tuesday when a suspect was involved in a motor vehicle crash, stole the other motorist's car keys, but then later returned to the scene of the initial incident with lunch while police were on the scene.
Okay.
So he wasn't fleeing the scene of an accident.
He was hungry.
Maybe he was on his lunch break. And he's like, look, I don't have time. I got to get on this.
Yeah. Look, the McDonald's drive-thru gets backed up, man. I got to get in there.
It does. I don't know why, but it does.
We went through it today. I thought the kids were going to have I thought we were all going to kill each other in the car.
Anyway, officers from the Ramapo Police Department were dispatched to an intersection of Route 59 and North Airmont Road at approximately 10:15 a.m. on Tuesday morning, where there was a report of a disabled vehicle on the side of the road. FYI, this is kind of embarrassing, but it's been so busy, I don't even know where this happened other than Ramapo.
Ramapo? So, that's what I was thinking. When you first said it, was like, I was thinking India or somewhere.
I thought maybe I could just kind of breeze through this and nobody would notice, but I now know that that's not going to happen, so I apologize.
I mean, if you know where Ramapo is, just tweet the show or email us or something.
I'm sorry. I'll better show prep next week, I promise.
I'm going to say New Mexico.
Still a good story.
Yeah.
Upon arrival at the scene, officers found that the car was not disabled but had been involved in a motor vehicle crash with a second driver who fled the scene. Police said that before the second driver left the scene, he assaulted the motorist and then took his keys from the ignition and drove off. Police said that while officers were still on the scene investigating the crash, the second driver, a 23-year-old Spring Valley resident whose name was not released as of Wednesday morning, returned with the keys and his lunch. He was subsequently arrested and charged with robbery, third-degree assault, and criminal possession of stolen property. Following arraignment, the suspect was released on bail. He is due back in court later this month to answer for the charges.
Okay. Wow.
So it's just, I mean, you're not supposed to flee the scene of an accident.
Right. Yeah.
And then, I guess it's good that he came back.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's still.
It's weird.
Yeah. Seems like you would go to the guy and be like, look, I'm on my lunch break. I've been craving a double cheeseburger. Look, since your car is still drivable, I'm just going to take it for a second. I'll be right back. You know, here's my credit card, so you know I'm coming back or whatever. Yeah. And I'll be back. If cops get here before I get back, tell them I'm coming back. Everything's cool, you know. You don't go beating him up and taking his keys. But have you ever seen the movie?
That dude needed a Snickers.
Yeah. It came out in the 90s called Falling Down, and it's got Michael Douglas, I think, in it.
Dude, I've always wanted to watch it. I've never seen it.
It's pretty.
But I've been told I need to watch it.
It sounds like something that he would do. You know, it's just like a guy's just fed up with life and everything.
Right. He kind of goes off the deep end. Yeah.
Sounds like something that would happen with him. So he's just like, he's frustrated with life. And it seems like I remember him. I know he goes into a McDonald's like 5 minutes after they, you know, quit serving breakfast, back when they quit serving breakfast, and he like goes nuts and shoots up the place or whatever. You know, all he wants is some pancakes or whatever. It's a pretty good movie. You should check it out. So,
all right.
I got another dude who's frustrated at life right here.
All right.
This comes from newsview.org. A British man drives 200 miles to pump his own fecal matter into a former friend's house.
What?
Dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's a former friend. Which the picture that goes along with this is kind of precious. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
A 75-year-old British man has been handed an 8-week suspended sentence after he pled guilty to using a homemade pump to spray his own excrement into the home of a former friend.
So wait a minute. This guy, not only did he do this, but he actually had to tinker in his garage.
Yeah, he got some PVC pipe.
And he had to design an apparatus for the spraying of feces.
Yes. As reported by the Braintree and Witham Times, Jeffrey Holyrood Doveton, what a name, that sounds very royal, was accused of defecating in a container for a period of between 6 to 8 weeks and
Dude, so he was storing it up.
Oh yeah, no, it's just wasn't a one-time pump and dump. This is like a methodical, planned out. He wanted to have a load. So
what did that guy do to deserve this?
Well, we'll see. 6 to 8 weeks, and he was collecting his feces to use in the attack. He's said to have fashioned a homemade pump driven 200 miles to the residence of his former friend, and then used that pump to spray his excrement through the letterbox slot in the door at the property.
Oh my God.
This is why you have a mailbox, out by the street.
So, did the dude have one of those some coveralls and a little fake name tag for some kind of handyman service or something when he did this?
I don't know. I think he may have just under the cover of night went over or something while he knew the dude was out or working.
He drove 200 miles to do
200
this, too.
miles, yeah.
I cannot think of many things I would drive 200 miles for.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, I go on vacation.
Look, you better have it sealed up tight. You know,
true.
if you got that in the back seat or whatever, you better make sure you don't hit a bump and it tump over in your car. Let's see. He was. The court was told the damage from the improvised pump caused a cleaning bill of over 4,000 pounds when it was discovered the following day.
No, that's nowhere near big enough. That's new house right there.
Yeah,
okay?
We're moving out. We're burning this one down.
We're tearing this one down and we're building a new one.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Insurance Adjuster. New house, please.
The judge involved in the case described it as one of the worst offenses he has dealt with in over 30 years in a job, which leads me to ask the question, has there been other poop pumpers in Britain? Is this like a thing over there? An investigator told the police department the excrement landed on a carpet with enough pressure that it also hit the door at the end of the hallway. All the carpet had to be replaced and the walls redecorated due to the quantity of feces.
Well, he's been working on this for 8 months, right?
Right, yes. For 6 weeks.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I mean, he may have went into planning stages and all.
Yeah.
There was no discussion of what specific event caused Holy Rod Doveton to be motivated to take revenge on his former friend. In addition to the suspended sentence, he has also been handed a restraining order to not go within a mile of the property and must pay the occupants £500 each. So he did 4,000 pounds of damage, and he's also got to pay £500 to each of the people who live there, I guess, too. I guess it's just like
that's still not enough,
no,
in my opinion.
Right. But I was just wondering, like, what would cause you to go?
I don't know.
All right. I'm going to tell this story. I told it a few days ago to some coworkers of mine.
Okay.
I don't get mad. I mean, I'm very slow to get angry, and when I do get mad, it goes really bad.
Right.
But I had a lady one time back when I owned the restaurant who called and cursed me out repeatedly for a long time over the phone, and it made me real mad. And so while she was cursing me out, I just looked at caller ID, wrote her phone number down, and stuck it in my wallet for about 6 months. And I didn't,
trying to talk yourself out of doing what you wanted to do.
No, I knew when I wrote it down what I was going to do. I just had to let enough time pass where she wouldn't connect me to the event. And so then I went on Craigslist and to the, for free section and typed up an ad with her phone number that said, free scrap metal, lots of copper. You have to come pick it up. Call my number for directions. And I feel like every meth head in West Alabama rang her phone for however long that ad stayed up, because I let it stay up until it expired. I don't know how long they stay up. That's something that you would do, to someone. I'd never crossed my mind to, what I need to do is fashion a pump and a container and go poop in it for a while and then go spray it in her house.
I like to consider myself a bit, kind of handy, but that's not really the truth. Truthfully, I just watch YouTube videos and learn how to do what I need to do on there.
Right.
But I couldn't even come up with that. I don't even think I could design like a poop sprayer.
Well, only thing I was thinking about is if you could somehow reverse like a shop vac or something so it would blow instead of suck.
Said it was homemade though.
Right.
Because I don't know how to build a shop vac.
No, but you could buy a shop vac, and surely there's a way to switch however the engine runs on it if you just can figure that out and you got a blower. Or you just hook a leaf blower up into a big wash tub. I don't know. How you would make it work. I've thought about it,
You thought about it?
Like how you could get this, like what kind of pump action would you have to have? And for it to spray all the way down the hallway and get all over the walls and everything else.
This story is taking a sharp turn where now we're actually trying to design this.
Just figure out how we can do it.
We're actually trying to figure this out on the drawing
All right,
board.
listen, y'all leave us a negative review. Just try it once. Try it one time. I dare you, leave a negative review.
If anybody knows how to design a poop sprayer, just write in.
There's probably a YouTube
Earth
video.
at planetmail.net.
What if he put a YouTube video up of it?
We need to research this.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, I just wonder how the mechanics of it all. You know, I'm
I
a
don't
curious guy. The engineering behind it. So, I mean, props to him for being able to figure it out. Because he had to have it in mind before he started dumping in a tub or whatever he was
How
doing.
got caught.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, that's a real good question. A DNA? I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could use somebody else's poop, but as long
Yeah.
as your DNA isn't in the system.
Well, you know, there's cameras all over Britain too. You know,
true.
I mean, we got a lot of cameras too, but they're like the surveillance state for real over there. You can't move without being on camera. So maybe they just like got his tag number. They noticed a dude hooking up a pump to the mail slot.
He didn't. Because here we go again. If it was me, I would have like rented a van from Home
Yeah,
Depot,
right, yes.
and tried to dress up like a handyman or something
Right.
like
Yeah,
that.
I'm here to do some work.
Yeah, and you know, if anybody asks, I'm pressure washing the mail slot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're doing some pressure checks over here, you know, and you're like that really stinks.
Oh yeah, we're fixing a sewage leak.
Yeah, they
is
got a
what we're
sewage
doing.
leak. That's what I have to do. We got to do it through the mail slot.
And somehow the sewage is connected to this dude's front door. It's terrible design. It was built back in
Yeah,
the 60s
yeah,
when
right.
people didn't care about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And you're dumb enough to believe that. So please just walk your dog, get out of
Yeah,
here.
just go. You need to be moving on, lady, before I spray you with this.
before we come fix your sewage leak, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I don't know.
Okay, our next story is. It actually gets kind of dark in places, but I'm going to try to steer kind of light on that. But the headline is Religiously Extreme Couple Loses Child Custody After a Stuffed Lion that was purportedly transmitting the word of God acted as their lawyer.
Okay. Well,
That was, okay,
Jesus-
one, that's quite a headline.
Yeah.
Two, it's
Jesus-
a very long headline.
Jesus is referred to as the Lion of Judah. Maybe,
The
maybe
stuffed
this is
Lion
what
of
it's
Judah?
the stuffed Lion of Judah.
Anyway, okay, here we go. A BC couple, that's British Columbia. I did research this one.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah.
Canadian story.
It's a Canadian story.
Yeah, which you typically don't see this kind of thing out of
Yeah,
Canada.
Canada pretty much just eats her syrup and hangs out up there.
Yeah, and it's super nice
Yeah.
and kind to everybody.
And according to Trump, opposes tariffs of outrageous amounts on all of our imports, so
right.
or all of our exports.
Anyway, a British Columbia couple whose religious views are too extreme even for churches and pastors put them at odds with family, doctors, social workers, and anyone else trying to help them with their daughter. They've lost their battle for custody of her. The unusual child custody trial featured the couple speaking in tongues to a stuffed animal that they said transmitted the word of God directly to them and refusing legal assistance because Jesus Christ, through the stuffed lion, was their lawyer, their witness, and their judge.
Okay. Well, I will say that if I can just interject that
Yes.
I learned all of my theology from cartoon vegetables. So,
it's not that
that's
different.
not that far out, right?
Cartoon vegetables that talked.
Yeah, right. Yeah, talking cartoon vegetables. So,
in November, when the girl was 1, the Provincial Court of British Columbia formally declared she was in need of protection and placed her in provincial custody. The decision the parents appealed to the BC Supreme Court. The parents claimed the judge violated their charter rights, discriminated against them as Christians, and made procedural errors. Both parents were raised in Christian homes. She was raised in Ontario, and he was raised in British Columbia, but they strayed from their roots until reconnecting with their beliefs as adults. They met in 2014, and they shared a mutual interest in their own emerging view of the Christian faith, and were privately married a year later, the court heard. They were not named to protect the identity of the child. They had unstable working and living arrangements, moving around various communities in British Columbia, the court heard. Their views started interfering with their relationships and others, including Christian communities. Several churches banned them and even called police for assistance when the couple set out to, quote, purge the church of evil influences.
Yeah. Well,
So,
well, you got to listen to them stuffed animals. You got to get on a purge.
at one point, after the birth of their child, they were criminally charged with causing a disturbance after police were called to a church in West Kelowna where the parents were trying to cleanse demonic influences. It appears that due to their strong religious beliefs, they are very intolerant of those who do not espouse identical views. This includes other Christians. So I would like to say that I've seen that a lot in the Christian church. We tend to be pretty intolerant of each other. I think that's why there's so many denominations now.
Well, and that was one
So
thing.
that by itself isn't all that odd.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I was going to say, look, I got a church for them. What's the church that goes around and protests everything, like soldiers' funerals?
Westboro Baptist Church.
Yes, yeah. That's where they need to be. That's where they need to be. Just head on down. They're like from Kansas or somewhere. Isn't that where they're like that church is based out of? It's somewhere out west, isn't it?
I thought it was Texas.
Okay,
but
Texas.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I could be too. I
To
just
be
know
honest
that
with
they're.
you, I try not to think about the Westboro Baptist Church.
They really
quite
kind of went
honestly.
away, you know. Like everyone just kind of ignored them away. I guess
Yeah.
is what we're like. Well, these people are idiots, and now they don't care.
Which, what's that episode of The Simpsons where all the logos are destroying the Springfield? And in order to stop them, they just don't pay attention to them.
Right? Yes.
I think that's...
I think ridicule and ignoring is two good ways to handle most problems in life. That's how I've handled most of my problems.
ignoring them
until they just go away. Yeah. Yeah. Tried that with my car. It didn't work too well, so now it's broke down.
After the woman found that she was pregnant, she told a social worker that her husband sometimes choked her to make her stop crying.
Okay.
Which...
Tried that with my kids a few times.
That'll make you quit breathing, too, if you're not careful.
It's hard to cry if you can't breathe.
Okay, basically, this article just goes into some pretty bad stuff. She told somebody that he occasionally hits her.
Yeah.
He believes in some other things. But when the police came, when she was interviewed by the police, that she denied them. And that she said that her husband, he was once frustrated with her, and he had a few drinks, and he one time put his hand over her throat and over her mouth. But when the police came, she was kind of taking up for him.
Well, he had a few drinks, so we know he's not Baptist.
Yes. This led to a complaint to the Ministry of Children and the Family Department, and after the birth of their daughter, the parents refused all medical tests and procedures for her, including a hearing test, a blood test, eye drops, and vitamin K shot. And the mother also said that she was unwilling to have her kids vaccinated. Which
of course.
I know some people who don't have their kids vaccinated.
I don't want to go off into that, but I know some too, yeah.
But I don't understand why they can't give them a hearing test.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yes.
they're not getting loaded up with mercury from a hearing test.
Who knows? Who knows?
I did vaccinate my kids.
All mine.
I don't want to argue with nobody.
I don't
if
either.
you don't, good for you.
Do what you want to do with your kids.
Yeah.
But mine's got every shot they could ever get, and they're perfectly normal. In fact, they're exceptional children. So,
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say my son's perfectly normal, but I don't blame the vaccine.
right? Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Because of concerns over family violence and mental health, the ministry monitored the family. The couple refused to have paternal capacity assessments despite a court order. So I guess the court was like, hey, you got to undergo these tests to see if you're fit. And they're like, no, we don't.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody wants to keep a kid.
Yeah. A month after the girl was born, she was removed from the home, and the parents continued to have supervised access. The mother applied to change her daughter's name to, get this, she wanted to have her daughter's name changed to Jesus, Joy of the Lord. And then she wanted her own name. She wanted her first name to be changed to Risen Lord Jesus.
Oh.
Her middle name, she wanted to be Refiner's Fire. And then her last name, Christ. So she wanted her full legal name to be Jesus, Risen Lord Jesus, Refiner's Fire, Christ.
Wow. Well, I would think if you're changing trying to change your daughter's name to Jesus, then you would change your name naturally to Mary, right? I mean, that seems just like a no-brainer. Yeah, I appreciate you trying to get the message out, in your name, but come on.
Well, her daughter's Jesus, Joy of the Lord, and she's Risen Lord Jesus, Refiner's Fire, Christ.
Wow. So. That's gonna be tough to fit on a Social Security card.
Yeah. Boy, I hate to be her teacher on the first day of school trying to get that one out.
That's right. So are you go by Jesus or Risen Savior? I don't even remember what all it was. Like, which one do you want me to call you?
We're just going to call you Joy.
Yeah,
How about that?
Let's go Joy of the Lord.
So when their child custody case came to court, the couple refused legal aid because they said that they had legal help.
Of course.
However, which came in the form of a stuffed lion. During the trial, the couple spoke to the lion in non-discernible words, presented as speaking in tongues, and said that through the lion, they heard directly from God.
Okay.
They said Jesus Christ was their lawyer, witness, and judge. When they cross-examined witnesses, they told each witness that their lawyer, Jesus, was asking the questions through them. Wow. In the end, the judge did not find them to be credible and ruled in favor of the ministry and placed the baby in continuing care. The parents appealed the decision, claiming it infringed on their religious freedoms as Christian parents. McDonald disagreed. The parents obviously loved their child and wished to raise her in a home with Christian values. It is clear that there is sufficient evidence before the trial judge to allow him to come to the conclusion that a continuing custody order was warranted in the circumstances. And so this goes on and on and on. Basically,
I'm surprised
these people are out there. And again, me and John, we're both Christians.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm skeptical that
Me
the
too.
Lord was speaking to them through a stuffed lion.
I'm skeptical because if Jesus is your lawyer, he's not losing the case.
That's a good point.
I mean, he's not losing the case.
Well, they said he was the judge too. So
Right, yeah.
How did this other judge's order stand?
Well, I mean, ultimately, we're all going to be judged. I mean, whether you like it or not, whether you believe or don't believe, we're all going to have to face judgment at the end, So in a way, I kind of agree with him there. Yeah. But I don't think Jesus is losing a court case at all, I mean, he came to fulfill the law.
Well, to play devil's advocate, he did lose one.
Well, that's
but that was
that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
But that was how it was supposed to go.
Well, it really wasn't a just trial,
No,
anyways.
it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like a sham. Yeah,
And he only had 2 witnesses against him, and they were
That's
false
right.
witnesses.
Yeah, right.
Who told the Sanhedrin that he had said he was going to destroy the temple.
That's right. Yes.
And he was going to build it back. He was talking about himself.
Exactly.
Anyway, we don't need to get into all that.
We don't need to get into all that. If you want to know, though, hit us up. We'll tell you all about it. But yeah, no, that's an excellent point. I should have thought about that. Yeah, he is 0-1 so far.
But from here forward, he wouldn't lose one.
No, I don't think so. But, that I'm like the same for vaccine. I'm all for people doing what they want to with their kids as long as you're not abusing your kids or anything, which sounds like there was some abuse going on here. I mean, if you want to raise your kid to believe in the unicorn God, that's cool with me. I mean, not what I would do, not what I would recommend you do, but I'm not going to try to have your kids taken away from you if you believe a talking lion is
flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, but you don't need to be abusing your kid or your wife either way. I mean,
I don't care what cult you were brought up in.
Yeah, right. There's no acceptable religious backing for either one of those two things. So you've already put yourself behind the 8 ball to begin with me. Well, let's move on to another offender who will have his day in court soon. And this is our Police, this is from the Metro Online. Police finally catch serial toilet clogger who targeted dozens of bathrooms. So, as I was discussing with you earlier, I have never clogged a toilet up in my life. I said I have 2 proud accomplishments in my life. No, the 2 top ones. I mean, outside of kids and all that stuff, you got to say.
I just got to be honest with you, John. That's kind of hard for me to believe.
I've never have.
You know, I believe that you believe you've never clogged a toilet.
I haven't. And now I'm all right. There's several methods that you can use to not clog a toilet. Number 1 is you don't be afraid to flush during, maybe multiple times. You know? Right. All right? I mean, you don't want to let it stack up in there is what I'm saying. All right? That's one.
I hope everybody's writing this down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You want to have smart paper usage, okay? You know? I mean, I know there's a job to do, but don't be afraid to... there's a method, and I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. Because my friend Paul came up with this, and it served me well my whole life. And I'll just... put it like this. It's poop flush, white flush. All right.
Yeah.
That's worked well too. That's another one. All right. Another thing is don't let it build up before you go. Like when you feel the need to go, you know, like don't put it off. You just need to go right then, you know, because I feel like if you wait and you like hold, then that next load's getting down in there too. And then you're going 2 for 1, you know? So that's another thing. So I've never stopped up a toilet. These are the methods that I use. You and others may want to apply it.
Okay.
And my other proud accomplishments, as I mentioned, is I've never had a cold sore. So
okay.
I'm very proud of that too. In fact, I look down on all you who have cold sores, and who have stopped up toilets like heathens. You know?
Well, man, I'm not feeling good about myself right now.
Now I've unstopped toilets. I've unstopped a lot of toilets, probably more than anyone who's not a licensed plumber, because at the restaurant they get stopped all the time. So
I don't understand. I mean, I thought a plunger was shouldn't that just be standard equipment? When I go into a restroom and there's not a plunger there, I'm like,
you get a little worried. You're like, oh, what's gonna happen?
I'm like, this bathroom is not up to spec.
Yeah.
The
horrible thing, oh man, I hate we're getting off on this, but so
because this dude right here was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, right.
He wasn't even using
biological
material.
Yeah, he was introducing foreign objects, but so the restaurant, they got stopped up all the time. The thing that bothered me the most was that no one would tell me. All right, and so then like it becomes a problem. It starts overflowing and everything because you were embarrassed to come up and be like, "Hey, I dropped a load and it wouldn't flush down."
Yeah.
You know, I got a Sasquatch log in there. You got to go get out or something. Just come and tell me, you know? Uh-oh.
Okay, you know what?
Let's pause right here, and then we'll get into
right
the poop
here.
story. Okay, so that's a little short break there. That's enough of me and my toilet escapades. But a repeat offender who deliberately clogged dozens of toilets has finally been caught and arrested. The 33-year-old man stuffed empty bottles of soft drinks into pipes, leaving a blockage and no way for waste to escape. Police posted on Facebook that they arrested a man for a string of vandalism that has been occurring at Deland Park over the past 2 years.
So did you take these bottles and actually stuff them way down in there so people didn't know that something was in there?
Or, you know, if you got to go, you got to go. And if there's a bottle in there or not, you just got to, you can't worry about it.
Now, that's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is kick the door open and take one quick peek.
Yeah, you want to glance.
Yeah.
First of all, you want to glance anytime you're sitting down in a public restroom.
Yeah, because there could be like a snake. Or there could be a rat.
There was a guy who was super gluing people. I don't know if you remember that. He would go into like a Walmart bathroom and put, you know, like epoxy or adhesive around the rim, and then like, you know, Big Mama goes in there to do her business and ends up getting glued to the toilet seat.
That's horrible.
It's funny though, but it is horrible, and he should be punished. I'm sure they caught him eventually. But yeah, imagine getting wheeled out of Walmart with a toilet seat stuck to your backside.
That's terrible. Oh man.
They were tipped off by a citizen to find the man. Police says he's damaged a women's bathroom at a Michigan community center at least 30 times in the past 2 years. It's very inconsiderate, Crystal Storsick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, who brings her son Grayson to Deland Park a lot, told ABC, "It's really nice to come out here. We love it." The broadcaster said sometimes they can't be removed and the whole toilet has to be replaced. It has a cost of about $3,000 to fix the toilet. It's cost them about $3,000 to fix the toilet so far. Posters have been stuck up around the bathrooms asking people to stay vigilant and report suspicious activity.
If you or anyone you know.
If you see somebody walking in here with a Pepsi bottle, just let us know. Give us a heads up. Sheboygan Police Department posted on Facebook the following. Members of Sheboygan Police Department arrested a 33-year-old Sheboygan man for the string of vandalism that has occurred at Deland Park over the past 2 years. The information leading to the arrest was provided by a citizen. The Sheboygan Police Department would like to thank those that provided us with information. So he's off the streets and he's locked up. He's not damaging toilets anymore. I'd just like to know his motivation. I mean, was it just like I
don't know.
I mean, he's 33. It's not like a 15-year-old's doing this. Because I could see 15-year-old John going, oh, yeah, stopping up his toilet this is gonna be so awesome, you know.
Yeah.
I don't see 33-year-old.
All the
John
other
do
kids
it.
are gonna think I'm so cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And other thing, like, are you sticking your whole hand down there in the water to put the bottle in? Because that's some commitment.
I'm not.
No, yeah. I would think, you get it in there and shove it in with like a stick or something.
I mean, this is me using my monkey brain.
Yeah.
Hey, John, there's your mom.
There's my mom. Yes. Hey, Mom.
This is me just using my brain. I guess, you put it in there and maybe try to use the plunger to get it, go
right,
down the pipe. But
right.
there again, that goes back to, is there a plunger? Is this bathroom up to code?
Yeah,
is there a plunger
in it?
Is there a plunger behind the toilet?
I don't know, but I just don't know why you would want to do it repeatedly at one place, you know. But there's a lot of weird people in the world, and hopefully he's got a stuffed lion to represent him at his trial.
That speaks the words of Jesus.
That's right. It speaks the words of Plumber Dan or whoever.
Joe the Plumber.
Joe the Plumber. That's his
That's
name.
who we need on the case. Okay, I'm going to fly through this story. This one comes from the BBC. Dancing FBI agent drops gun during a backflip and shoots a man in the leg. Wow. Which, let me just say right here, that's a heck of a shot.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
give him the top shot trophy.
Yeah, so what are the odds?
Yeah. Anyway, an off-duty FBI agent accidentally shot a bystander in the leg when his gun fell from its holster as he cavorted on the dance floor of a bar in Denver, Colorado, police said. Video was widely shared on Twitter, and it shows the agent strutting his stuff and then performing a backflip.
He's a pretty good dancer if you watched it,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some moves.
The gun falls to the floor, and as the agent goes to grab it, he fires a shot, which I understand that this was in the heat of it, but I was always told anytime a firearm, a knife, whatever falls, just let it go.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You don't grab it because
Right.
that's when accidents happen.
Well,
and that's what happened here. This
Yeah.
is why you don't do it.
Yeah.
So the fellow customer was hit by the bullet and he was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injury. So that's good.
Yeah.
It was non-life-threatening.
He's got a story to tell for the rest of his life.
Yeah. It is unclear if the agent, who has not been named, will face charges or disciplinary action. The video shows that his wild moves on the dance floor had attracted an appreciative crowd at the Mile High Spirits and Distillery Bar on Saturday night. But the mood quickly changed when the gun went off. As shocked patrons look on, the agent retrieves his weapon, holds up his hands, and leaves the floor. Which I like to think he was like tap dancing off. He like
I thought he'd be like, "You got served," you just got served.
like who was Britney's sister? Was it? Who was the girl that was lip syncing on SNL and got in trouble?
Yeah. Oh man,
It wasn't Britney Spears' sister. It was somebody else.
No, her sister's Jamie Lynn. I'm surprised I know that. That just came out of nowhere in my brain, and I don't know where. I'm amazed.
Oh, it was
it wasn't Jessica Simpson, was it? But
it was her sister.
Yeah, it was her sister. Yeah.
Is it Ashley Simpson?
Ashley Simpson.
It was
That's
Ashley
right.
Simpson she was lip syncing on SNL, and she does this little country dance and dances off the stage. That's what this FBI agent did.
Yes. Oh man. Well, you know the saying goes, the only thing that stops a dance battle is a good guy with a gun.
That's what the NRA would have us believe. The only thing. That's precious, John.
Thank you. I just thought of that, by the way. I didn't even have that one in the barrel. No pun intended.
Oh, that's a good one.
But yeah, I would imagine that dude's going to be in a little trouble, you know, with the FBI.
I would hope. Well,
I mean, accidents
you
happen.
need at least a reprimand.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would just say if you're going to go out and do some backflips on the dance floor, take one out of the chamber, you know, make sure your safety's on. I know, you know, you're a law enforcement agent. And really, I have a lot of friends.
I mean, well, it says he was off duty.
Right, yeah.
But
you probably got to be ready for action at any time.
They say that when you carry a gun that changes your whole lifestyle, maybe that means no dance moves.
Yeah, right,
you know?
True. Or you just hand it to your buddy, like, hey, hold my gun. I got to go out here. Buddy, the
And
beat has
serve
got me.
somebody.
Yeah, the beat's got a hold of me. Hold my gun. And, yeah, you just don't want to chamber up around if you're going to do a flip. So. All right, so we want to give another shout out to our sponsor, official sponsor of Earth Oddity Podcast, Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spices, CajunCurl.com. Go check it out. Go get your can for yourself if you like to grill, if you like to cook, if you like to eat. If you know anyone who likes to grill, cook, or eat, it's a perfect gift for them. Father's Day's coming up. You know, Dad might want to expand his spice repertoire, you know, get out of the same old. Get him some for it. It'll be great for him. You know, that's a perfect gift for Dad because dads don't get cool gifts like everybody else for the most part. We get like weed eaters and stuff. But Cajun Curl is amazing. It's great. You've heard us talk about it. We love it. You love it. Everyone who's tried it loves it. So, you know, get out and get you some. Find it wherever your local grocer is. If they don't have it, tell them they need to carry it so they can get it stocked on the shelves and for us. Our friends over at Cajun Curl. So CajunCurl.com. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Facebook. They got a page. People post up recipes and pictures of all the awesome stuff they cook. It'll make you hungry just being in that Facebook group. So check them out.
Well, for our reviews this week, we didn't have any iTunes reviews this week.
No, none this week.
So we're going to read a Facebook review.
All right.
And this one comes from Jessie Kahat, and she reviewed Earth Oddity Podcast, and she says, one of my new favorite pods. It's a great break from all the true crime that I listen to, and it's something I can actually listen to with my kids around. The guys are hilarious, and the stories are too funny. I legitimately laugh out loud several times each episode. Thank you so much, Ms. Cott, for reviewing us on Facebook as well as iTunes.
Right. Yeah, Jesse's the one who has
Pearls from My Mom podcast.
Yeah, Pearls from My Mom. You all should check it out too.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and it's a good one to do. You know, I wish I would have had that idea. You know?
Yeah.
Because my mom's definitely got some pearls she's dropped over the years. But yeah, thank you. If you're listening, join our Facebook group. If you're not a member, if you already are a member, it's Earth Oddity Podcast. Review it there. You know, give us 5 stars. You know, we really, like I said, we say all the time, we want to interact with you guys, and we want to be able to get your thoughts and hang out socially over social media with you. You know, I mean, I don't want you coming to my house, but other than that, no, I'm kidding.
You come over to my house.
Yeah, well, I'll go to Tiny's house. Yeah. I just don't have to clean up for
just
you to come over.
Just don't tell my wife that you're coming.
Bunch of random people just start showing up.
Just show up so I can tell my wife, well, I didn't know they were coming over, but hey, you know what? We need to be like Jesus and love people.
But you get in there and cook some food. I'm going to take them out in the backyard and hang out for a while. But yeah, you know, really, you know, interact with us. We want to interact with you.
We also got...
we got an email too, right?
Yeah, we also got an anonymous email. We don't know who this comes from. We don't
know who it is.
But the title of the email is Back to Episode 0.
So this person dug back in the archives.
They dug way back in the archives. We weren't even a podcast yet. This was episode 0.
This is us just playing around, practicing.
This was us just checking out the new recorder.
Yeah.
It says, I don't know about spontaneously combusting, but now that I think about it, some farts are flammable. Okay. Poor guy must have had really bad gas.
All right.
Which, if I remember correctly, we had a story that dealt with a man who just somehow mysteriously caught on fire.
Right.
And I think I think he did perish.
Yeah, he died.
But that nobody could tell why he caught on fire.
Right,
And we
yeah.
discussed spontaneously human combustion. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I was talking about. Like, I think, I don't know if it's possible or not, but I think it may be possible.
Right.
And I don't think it's voodoo or
Yeah.
paranormal. I think maybe the human body, because of certain biomaterials that are
Yeah.
flammable, and also there's bioelectricity in the body.
Right, yes.
Maybe static electricity.
Static
Who knows?
electricity.
Maybe. I mean, obviously, if it's possible, it's rare. But maybe people can catch on fire.
Well,
I don't know.
and like he said,
Wear
as
flame
any,
retardant clothing.
as any teenage boy knows, you can light a fart on fire. So if he did like a good seat rattler and got some static electricity and like the perfect conditions, maybe he caught himself
Perfect
on fire.
conditions.
Yeah, right. I don't
No
know.
voodoo doll required.
Yeah, no voodoo doll required. But yeah, you can light a fart on fire if you didn't know that.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe spontaneous human combustion is possible. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe
There's
it is.
been alleged cases of it for a long time. So, there may be something there.
Right.
I don't know. Or it may be a convenient way to burn up your loved one and say, they just burst into flames. I don't know.
I would like to think that would get figured out, but who knows?
Yeah, but 30, 40 years ago, maybe.
The interesting cases are sometimes when they find somebody's remains, but like the rest of the apartment is
intact.
Is intact.
Right.
It was just that one spot.
Yeah.
And the person didn't smoke or they weren't on oxygen or something.
I will say if the Lord decides to call me home, if I could burn like that, that would be kind of a cool way to go
Oh,
out.
not me, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that would be my sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I
I always
would like
thought
to
lightning
go.
strike would be cool.
I would like to go during,
Yeah. I mean, that'd be a good one. That's probably top number one for everybody. Yeah. No, that's number one for everybody.
Right.
But outside of that,
Yeah.
I always thought lightning strike would be cool, just so my kids can tell everybody, like Daddy got killed by a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I get some lightning bolts on my tombstone. Just keep it. I don't know, to remind everybody morbidly of how their dad died.
If I had to go and I could choose my own way, I think I would like to be on an asteroid
Okay.
that is fixing to destroy the Earth.
All right.
And me and all of my buddies have drilled a hole into the asteroid and we put a bomb down there. But because so-and-so was an idiot, they messed up the remote detonator and I have to stay behind on the asteroid and manually
Save it.
detonate the asteroid to save the Earth.
That would make a really good movie.
That's how I would want to go if I could go any way I chose.
All I really wish is, however I go, I hope I don't die and show up in heaven, and then the next day Jesus is like, "Well, guys, I'm going back to get everybody." I'm gonna be so upset.
You just couldn't come a day early.
You're like, come on, man! You just couldn't let me wait one day.
Especially if you were like crushed by an anaconda or
Yeah,
something horrifying.
Yeah, like really painful. Show up and then Jesus like, all right, hey angels, all right, everybody get together. I'm about to go back. I'm about to run roughshod, and then we're gonna call everybody home. I would be so upset.
Oh, man. Well, you have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us, whether you're listening to us on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Acast, Overcast, Podcast Republic, CastBox. No matter where you get us, we thank you so much.
Yeah, that's we appreciate your support and listening. Hit us up on all our social media. We're at Twitter @_Earth Oddity. On Instagram, same handle @_Earth Oddity.
And you can email the show. We
Yeah.
are earthoddity@planetmail.net.
Yep.
And we look forward to hearing from you. If you haven't left a review yet, please go leave us a review because it helps us expand our reach and get into new listeners' heads.
Right. Yeah.
If we post the show up on Facebook, and you want to be maybe a little bit naughty, hit that naughty share button. Share us with your friends.
All the cool kids are doing it.
And we want y'all to have a nice week, and we will see y'all next week. Thank y'all so much. All right, we're out of here.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey, the show's over. Why you're still listening?